Hey ladies and gents, this is Linda Paycheck777 and today I'm coming at you with the next video in my Summer Bazaar DIY Craft Series. We're going to be making some different headbands. I'm going to be putting some headbands in my Summer Craft Bazaar this year. I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish, 6 styles. I'll probably have to put it into 2 videos. I know there are a lot of videos here on YouTube about it, but as I've said in a lot of my Craft Bazaar series, we don't all subscribe to the same channels, and you know, I'm gonna put, go ahead and put one out there for you. As you can see here, I am going to be talking with you on how to make these cute, really cute unicorn headbands. Thought they were super cute. I went looking and found some videos, and then kind of put together my own little design here, and this is what I came up with. Super cute. Some of the other headbands, this I thought was super cute. I wanted something that sort of was like Mickey ears. Sort of like Mickey ears. So I came up, with kind of these cute puffball ones. Thought was super cute. So we'll be learning how to make that. Troll headbands, tons of those out there, but here's kind of, this is actually in purples. It looks like blues. It's kind of a purple and dark purple and a blue combination. So this one. And then, just to show you another variety, this is a blue and pink variety. And we're going to be making like some Mickey ears, which I haven't got done yet. But we're going to be doing some cat ears as well. So there's some like this. I made like that style. I made like this style. And I put a little bit different, I don't know if I want to call it a twist. But all of the styles that I learned for cat ears, they showed wrapping wire around the headband. I did not do that, so you can see how I am completely flush here. And the type of wire I used is not going to misshape or bend. It's going to keep its shape. So let's start with unicorn. So I got this, they had this fabric at Walmart. They had like a silver and a gold. I chose to go with silver for the unicorn head. I also picked up some felt, just some white felt, those sheets that you can get. That's like 23 cents a sheet or something like that. Some white felt for the ears. These particular like flowers here got at Dollar Tree. They look like this. They come 2 or some 3 to a sheet. They're like in with like the bows. So Dollar Tree for those. Okay, for that. The wrap, the string that goes around the headband, I got at Walmart, and I picked up, this is called, it's like a wire. It's like a bow wire, I think is what it's called. It's in with all the ribbons and stuff at Walmart, and they have like packages hanging up with tiny little flowers and bows and stuff in it, and they had a package of this in silver, and I believe it was called bow wire. It kind of looks like a string, but it's a really kind of flexible, thin like wire looking string. It was like $1 or $2, $1.94 or $2.94 or something like that. Very cheap, and you get a lot of it, and I don't even think I used, maybe a yard of it, but you get a lot of this for the price. My headbands. I get all my headbands at like Dollar Tree. For the unicorn headbands, I went with the whiter ones. They come 3 in a thing for $1. Okay. I do wrap my own headbands. I don't go with what's already there. The headbands I got, they look like this, 3 for $1, multicolored. I take off this and then I re-wrap them. Okay, I rewrap all my headbands. If you are low on funds, you could go ahead and stay with the same. Headbands. Like for the troll headbands, the colors I chose, like the blues and the pinks and the purples. These particular headbands at Dollar Tree come 6 for $1, and they're already the blue, the pink, and the purple. This is a purple, really dark purple. So you could, if you're low on funds, you don't have to rewrap, because the tulle and stuff that you pick up at Walmart, blues, pinks, purples, real easy, so that would save you some money. But I in particular like to rewrap my headbands. Okay, so let's start. So what I did in creating the design for the unicorn is I went on, Googled pattern for unicorn headbands, and the one pattern I found, it had this on it and this for an ear, okay, ear shaped, and I just downloaded it and printed the file. I got half of a yard, and I think I only used a quarter of a yard, and I made 8 headbands out of it. So I still have a ton of this left. It cost me like $3 for a half of a yard. Okay, cut the pattern out of this. Then I took the white felt and I cut the ear patterns out. Okay, and then what I did is I kind of made my own pattern for the center, and I added a little bit of the silver to the center of the ear. This fabric actually came on the ends. It's going to be hard to explain because I cut it all off and use it. On the ends of this fabric was this, probably about 4 inches of this kind of off the edge. It was like the raw edge of this, and so I cut that off and I use it. But you could actually use this and put it in the center and kind of match the unicorn horn. Do you know what I'm saying? But this was on this fabric that I bought, is on one of each edge of the fabric. So I just cut it off and use it for the center of my ears. Okay, and then I went ahead and made extra little pieces here to fit in the center of my ears out of the felt, like this, just so when I glue it together and around the headband, it makes it really stiff. Okay, so I just made these extra little centers for my ears. Okay, so I cut 2 of these. I cut 2 little centers for the middle of the ear. You don't have to do this. I did. Cut 2 of these, and then I cut 1 of these. Okay, so 1 for the horn, 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 of these for each headband. Okay, so this fabric is really flexible, that I sewed it by hand. Okay, so I've got my piece cut out. Fold the right sides together, which is your nice side, okay? Wrong sides means the ugly side. Right sides means the nice side. Together, and then you're going to sew along the perimeter of just this one edge. Okay, right along the perimeter, hand sew with the needle. I tried to sew this at first with the sewing machine. It's way too flimsy. And I didn't have the right size needle. It can be done, but I had too big a needles. You have to use a finer size needle on your sewing machine. So if you're a sewer, you know how to sew with this stuff, a fine size needle. Anyway, so you sew along this edge, and then you turn it back inside out, and you end up with this little tube, okay, like this. All right, and then you stuff it. So I put some stuffing in it, and I ended up with this, okay. I stuffed it, and I just stuffed it with just some like pillow stuffing. By cheap pillow, you get about twice the size for the same size of a bag of stuffing in the craft section. You know what I'm saying? So you spend $6 in the craft section, or you go buy a pillow for $6 and get double the amount. So that's the way I do it, and I stuffed it with the stuffing, and then I took my Fabri-Tac glue, okay, Beacon Fabri-Tac, and all I did was, do you see how this has little flanges on it? So I just closed the little flanges like this and like this. I overlapped them and I glued it, okay? So you ended up with this, okay? So here's our little horn, all right? Then I took this wire, this little bow wire that I've got, and I'll cut off a piece here if I can find the end. There we go. I just, cut off a chunk. And a lot of the videos I saw showed sewing this in and stuff. Well, since this is wire, I didn't need to sew it, so I just took a little bit of the Fabri-Tac. Okay. And I just add a little dollop of glue, right, kind of at the tip top. And I put my wire on right in that little bit of glue. And I kind of let it take hold. I wrapped my wire around. Just takes a second to tack. Wrap it around and meet that wire that you just kind of glued in a spot. Okay, see, you can't barely even see the end, so you just wrap it around and meet the wire where you just glued it, okay? And then once it's ready to go, that's why I liked this bow wire. You don't have to sew and it's going to hold its shape, okay? And then once that glue is ready to go, you just start twisting this wire around our little unicorn horn here, holding it a little bit taut, because as you hold it taut, it kind of, as it wraps around the horn, it poofs out. So you want to pull it a little bit taut, not real tight, but just tight enough to get little pillow poofs. Okay, all the way down to the bottom, about like this. All right, and then I ended up down here, and then all I did, just cut off the excess, so I have this little piece right here kind of sticking out. It's hard to see on this silver, but then I just kind of glued that down just like that. Okay, and it just takes a minute or so to tack up. Alright, and then once it sets, we have our little unicorn horn, which obviously is this. Okay? Okay, and so that is ready to go. So my headband, this particular ribbon that I use, they have at Dollar Tree. They have it in cute, like a kind of a corally pink. They've got it in the purple, as you can see. They have it in this real pretty kind of aqua color. So those were the kind of the colors I used on these unicorn headbands. Okay. They also had this kind of shimmery trim, kind of satiny shimmery. They also had that at Dollar Tree in kind of this darker pink and in this lighter pink. And I could get about, because there are like 9 feet on there, I could get like 2 headbands per spool, okay? Either design, I could get 2 headbands per spool, okay? So if you've not wrapped a headband before, I'm not going to go through the whole headband, but I'm just going to show you some particulars to start with. So this is one of the headbands that had that cloth cover on it that I just showed you, like this, a wider headband. I took that off, so you're left with this plastic, okay? This one's actually going to be for our little puffball ears. So I have some, I'm going to do this in blue, so I've got some of this. This is trim I got from Walmart. It's like 97 cents. So what I do is I start with cut off 2 little strips like this, like little inch-long strips. Okay. And wrapping these headbands, it works nicer if you do use this thinner ribbon. But if you're working with this thicker ribbon, it will work, but it takes a little more effort to kind of wrap it without it bunching up, because it kind of likes to wrinkle as you're wrapping it, so you have to pull it back apart and rewrap it and just really tight, or it wrinkles. Okay, this thinner stuff doesn't, this thinner width stuff doesn't wrinkle so much. So you cut off 2 little pieces, okay? I'm just going to kind of show you the start of wrapping a headband in case you've never done it. And you take and glue it right on the ends, okay? If you have really like the wide ribbon that you're using, like with this stuff, it's a little bit wider. If you got the shimmery stuff at Dollar Tree, once you wrap it on the end, then you need to cut it off, okay? And I will show you what I mean. So this thinner stuff, you wrap it and it's perfect because it's just the width of this headband at the bottom. Okay, if you're wrapping some that's wider than the width of this headband at the bottom, you need to cut off the excess. Cut the ribbon off, cut off that excess that's hanging off the edge, okay? So that it's just about the width of the headband like that, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? So if I've got some ribbon like this, see it's a really wide sheer, see how much wider than the headband it is? Cut off that excess on the sides, okay? So it's just the width of the headband. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? And then basically just start on the end where you just glued. I like to glue on the inside. So you add a little bit of glue first to get this started, okay? Like this. Get your end started and get that glue set before you start wrapping. Okay, get that glue set. And I will use this headband later in one of our next headbands. Get that glue nice and set. And then I just a little bit of glue at a time, okay? Add, a nice long strip, 4 or 5 inches. And then you just start wrapping your headband. When you wrap this ribbon, it's best to overlap. Okay, see I'm kind of overlapping. Right at first I'm overlapping almost right over it, and then as I start going around I'm going to start to slant my ribbon. Okay, you have to, as you're slanting, you have to pull it kind of taut. You're going to get glue all over your fingers. That's just part of it. See how I'm slanting? As you slant and twist, you need to pull it tight, okay, so that your ribbon does not wrinkle or buckle. If you do it and it kind of wrinkles in here, like, as you go to wrap and it's, let me see if I can get it just with this ribbon because it's thin, it may not. It's going to kind of wrinkle like this and you're wrapping around and you see that wrinkle, that looks tacky. So you want to make sure you pull it nice and tight like this, okay? Nice and tight. Nice and tight. And you just keep twisting around. And try to keep equal spaces. If you're using a little wider ribbon, you'll probably not be as wide a twist. Your twist will probably be a little closer together. But if you're using a thinner ribbon, you can bring it down a little farther apart, okay? And you just kind of wrap. You just keep going around, wrap and twist, just like that, all the way around down to the other side. And I usually will end the ribbon on the inside so that you don't see it. So right over here, like on this one, see I ended it on the inside. Okay, so you can see how my end pieces start. I wrapped it around, I overlapped it nice and tight all the way around, gluing. And then as I ended it on the inside, that last little seam. Okay, so that's how I wrap my headbands. Okay, the little bit thinner the better. I'd say this is probably a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/8 of an inch. Okay. All right, so headband. We've got our unicorn. Let's get our unicorn ears on first. I have 2 ears here. I went ahead and sewed my ears. I sewed around the perimeter just to give it a decorative touch, and I sewed that little silver piece on. You don't have to, you can just cut and glue, but I sewed mine around the perimeter, okay, with the sewing machine, okay? But you don't have to, you can totally, if you make a little centerpiece, and you can make this little centerpiece, you can buy some pink felt, and you can make a little pink ears in the center if you want, but I chose to use the silver that was off of the silver of this, like I said earlier. But you can buy a little piece of pink felt. One white piece of felt is all you're going to need, and you're going to be able to make probably 8 headbands with it. And then you could buy one piece of pink felt and make little pink centers if you want. Okay, and then I cut my these little centers here. So the first thing I'll do is glue this little center onto the inside of my ear, not the piece where the silver's on the back here. I'm just going to glue it right here like this. Okay, there's my, okay, glue it right there, just to give a little more thickness on this earpiece is all I'm doing. We might have to do a couple of, probably 3 videos for our headbands. Okay, I'll probably work this into 3 videos because I can tell it's going to take a while for all our pieces, all our headband pieces. So I'll probably work it into 3 videos for you, 3 separate headbands. Okay? Alright, so got that on there, and now just kind of eyeball it. Your unicorn head goes in the center, and so just about a 1/2 inch away is where you're going to kind of glue your ears, okay? I did it about a 1/2 inch away from where the horn's going to go, okay? So I just kind of place it on there and hold it, and then I add a little glue right there so it's in place, okay? Here we go. And then what I glued was this little center piece right here. I glued that right onto the headband, okay? Just like that. See? And then we'll just glue the rest of this ear together. Okay. And when I glued it together, you push it together, and then I kind of just pushed it right down to the headband. I don't necessarily get it on the head, you know, like glue it to the top of the headband. I just squish it closed right near the top, like that, okay? That's all I did with it. I didn't necessarily glue it on top because it's glued underneath and then it's glued here with this, okay? That's why I did that. So there's one ear, okay? And the reason I'm not gluing this on yet, because this takes a while to set up, so that's going to be the last thing I glue on there, okay? So there's a reason why, because you're probably thinking, well, if you just glue the head bit or the horn on, then you know where to glue the ears, but this takes a while. So for the purpose of the video, we're going to do it like this first. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of glue to this middle on the next one, okay? I'm going to lay my headband here. My headband I make sure is, let me go out a little bit. My headband I make sure is placed directly in the, see where the opening is here? It's right in the middle of that opening at the top. Do you understand what I'm saying? So let's kind of hold that headband for a minute and go over here and get the next one. There we go. And glue on there, okay, and then let's glue this part. So we've got the bottom all secure there. Now we'll glue the top part, and then we'll pinch that one together. And if you have to, you can kind of finagle it on the bottom a little bit. Okay, so we have 2 ears, okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue the headband just right to that center piece, right on top. Okay, I'm going to glue it, and I'm going to let that set for a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my horn on there, got my ears on there, and now I'm going to do like my little center decorative pieces, okay? So I have a little rolled rose here that I made. One of the other options I did was I added a little bow in the center, like this. You could make a bow, or Walmart has these little bows you could buy, so that was an option. if you have a die for like your Big Shot machine or something like that, and you have a rolled rose die, you can make those. I actually did not have a rolled rose die, so I went online and I googled pattern for rolled rose die, and I printed them out, and then I just cut out my own rolled rose out of felt, and I rolled it together and made a rose. Okay, I'm not gonna, if there's someone that wants me to show you how to do that, I would do that. Otherwise, and I wanted to go with fabric flowers. I didn't want anything paper on any of my headbands, because if kids or whatever wear these outside, I didn't want the paper getting all wet and disintegrating. So I wanted everything to be all fabric on my headbands. Okay, so anyway, or you could buy already made fabric roses, but I just went ahead and made my own little rolled roses. Okay, if you wanted what I was going to say, like a tutorial on that, just mention that, and I can show you how to make rolled roses. But if you just look up how to make a rolled rose here on YouTube, it'll show you how to do it. So that's what I did. Okay, so I have a little purple one right here. It looks blue on camera, but it is purple. And then these flowers, like I said, that I got from Dollar Tree, I have purple ones, so I went ahead and tore a couple of the petals off. They have purple ones, pink ones, white ones, and then these burlap ones. So I tore off. Basically, and I'll show you, just take off this little ugly gem in the center. Takes a little bit, but you just take that off, and then all I did was just take a couple of the petals off like that, 2 petals. So that's what I ended up with. Okay, and then what I actually did is then I took those 2 petals apart like this. Okay, this is all going to not be seen, so I just left that on there because it's too hard to get off, that little bit of glue there, paper, whatever, and I just glue it onto the unicorn right there, onto the unicorn right at the edge, so that that little glue isn't showing on the back of that little flower. Do the same thing over here. Sometimes this part comes apart, so add a little bit of glue there if it does. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that little piece will come apart when you tear it apart, that little fold, so I just add a little bit of glue down there. This stayed together, so we're okay. Add some glue on the edge of that. And I leave a little bit of space on my little head, on my little horn here. I left a little bit of space just because I wanted to. I didn't, you could choose to close it if you want. Okay. Then I've got my little rolled rose that I made. It would have been so much faster if I had the die. I had a rolled rose die, but they're really, really tiny, and I wanted one that was a scalloped. See how this is a scalloped edge, and I didn't have that, so I had to sit and cut them out by hand, but it worked. Okay, and then just glue that right in the center of those 2 pieces, just like that. And then we have our little unicorn headband. And then what I did on a lot of my headbands, and I'll do it on this off camera, is I've got this spray glitter I got from Walmart. It's in silver. I have it left over from Christmas. And I sprayed all my headbands. And you can actually see, actually now I see I pre-sprayed this one, but can you see the glitter on it? I sprayed it with this. So I glue everything together actually, and then I go through and I spray it with this, but I did it ahead of time for this tutorial. Okay, so we have our unicorn headband. Okay, let's move on quickly to one more headband for this video. Let's go into the little troll hair headband. Okay, so have already pre-wrapped my headband. Like I said, I use these. They're 6 for $1, the little thinner ones at Dollar Tree. If you want to save money and you want them, they're already wrapped for you, but I like to just kind of re-wrap them so that they are more of kind of a unique handmade look. So already wrapped. I bought this spool at Walmart. They're like $1.97. They're perfect. They're already like 6 inches in width, and you just cut them off about 14 inches in length, and you cut about 15 or so of them per headband, okay? And they have all sorts of colors. I did want some darker pink ones, and the purple they were out of, like this light purple, so I actually bought some of that by the yard. It was 97 cents a yard. I bought 1 yard of this light purple and 1 yard of this really dark pink, and that was enough for 4 headbands. 1 yard made 2 headbands, okay? And I actually, if I did it by the yard, I cut them 5 inches in width and then 14 inches or so in length, okay? So, but these are nice. They have tons of colors already pre-done for you. So I've got 15 strips here pre-cut in light pink. So basically what you do is take it in half, your length in half, okay, and kind of fold it like this. So you have like a little loop. All right, you pick up your headband and you place your tool underneath that headband, kind of start right in the center at the top. You've got your loop here, your 2 ends are right down here, and you take those 2 ends, you take it up, fold it over the headband, and then go right in between that loop, okay? Just like that, all right? And then you take it up and pull it really tight so you have a nice little loop there. I'm going to do a couple more. Show you once again. Fold it in half. You can create a little loop. Okay. Come right up to your headband. Have that loop to the back. Your 2 end pieces to the front. Fold it over the headband. Up and over and in between that loop. And then pull it really, really taut. Okay. Let's do one more, and then I'm going to do the rest of these off camera. Okay, in half, right? Headband up. Your loop is to the back. Your pieces are to the front. Your ends up and over the headband, through the loop, and pull it really nice and taut. Okay, or tight, whichever word you want to use. And put all, I think of some headbands, I put 15, some headbands, I put 16 on it. Multiple colors, I think I did like 9 of one color and like 6 of another. Some headbands I added a little bit more, but most of them all have 15 of these little loops on it, okay? So I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've got all my pieces. I've got 14 of them on there, and I kept it pretty well centered with the opening of the headband at the bottom. I've got all this cute, luxurious troll hair at the top. The next thing, and I try to take all these little knots and try to just kind of, you can twist them real easy and just kind of twist them so they're kind of on top of the headband versus back like that. Do you see what I'm saying? I twist them so they're more on top of the headband. See? The position of the little knots. Okay? And then what I did is Dollar Tree has all this sheer ribbon. It's 18 feet. They have the perfect colors for pastel for these headbands of purple, and they've got pink, and they've got this blue. Perfect colorings for the headband. So I cut out pink, and I cut it out, I think it's probably about 24 inches, but I bet I only used about 18 inches, but I'd rather have it a little bit too long than not long enough. But 18 inches would probably do it. And I take my hair, and I just kind of gather it all up at the top. It's going to be actually a little hard to do trying to hold it, because I kind of put this on my knee to brace it. And then get my ribbon up at the top and get it tied right in there, because I tried to keep all my little pieces straight. I don't want anything all, you know, bunkered in there, so I just get the ribbon on and pull all my little pieces nice and straight. All my hairs straight up. And I probably go about, just a second here, let me get this on, and then I will measure wherever you think looks good. I put my ribbon right about 2.5 inches up from the headband. Okay, and then basically I just tie a little bow. Easy peasy, just tie yourself a bow. I kind of like a little bit bigger bow, a little bit poofier. There we go, like that. Okay. Nice little bow, and then I come down here just a little bit past the headband. I want some nice long little flanges here, so I'm going to come down about here, and I want some nice little long tails on mine. You can cut them however you want on yours. I want a little bit longer tails on mine. It's however you like it. And then some of it, as you tie it, you can see some pieces are really long. You're going to want to kind of give it your hair a little haircut. Okay, and kind of make it even. It's just the way it ends up tying as you pull it, or if you, when you cut it and you got some pieces a little bit longer, but you know, give your little troll a little haircut and make it a nice little circular on top. There's the way the back looks. And then I picked a couple of my rolled roses that I made, and basically I'm just going to take it and glue it. I picked a dark color that I made, and I'm just going to glue my little roses right on top, right in the center. Just make it look all nice and cute. Again, with the fabric, like I discussed, I want fabric everything because I don't want them wearing it out. Where we live, we have a lot of rain. If you're in a hot heat, you know, state or country, it probably doesn't matter, but where we live is a lot of rain. So I want fabric everything. I don't want paper that's gonna shred in all the rain. Okay? And glue it on with my Fabri-Tac glue, and there we have my little troll headband, troll hair headband. Isn't that stinking cute? And again, once my glue sets and everything, I will come in with my spray glitter and I'll shimmer all the flowers up and everything. So there's my little troll headband, and you can, you know, work with this a little bit. You can spread this out, spread out your troll hair a little bit. You can add more hair if you want, if you don't want it so skinny. But you know, they're just supposed to be for little kids, but you can bring it down a little bit more. If, like, this is 14, so if you wanted to add like 16 to 18 pieces for your hair and bring it down a little further, you can do that. Okay, so that's it for the headbands for this particular video. I will come back and we will do a separate video for our little poof ball headband, because I'll show you how to make the little cotton balls by hand. They're not little by any means, but show you how to make those by hand. And then I will come back and show you the Mickey ears and the cat ears. I know you guys want to learn how to make those. If you have any questions, let me know. Please give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. I'll answer anything I can for you. I thank you for sharing your time with me, and I'll talk with you again soon. And please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Bye.